Hey, everybody. Welcome to Speaking of Schmoedown, a sports talk show devoted to the movie trivia Schmoedown. We got the Saulshow is going to be invading us here pretty soon, so we're not going to mess about. As usual, we've got our numbers guy, Double D, Dan Dolinsky. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here and talking Schmoedown because we've had a great set of matches that I'm excited to get into.
Yes, it's going to be a great episode. And joining us here for her first time on the show, Nancy Rodriguez. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Yeah, thank you for being on. We're looking forward to it. And you guys, if you've seen our premiere episode, you know who this man is. And if you've not, you've probably seen him around the Schmoedown community in other ways. He posts some nice, awesome, fun little videos playing that guitar. Also, I saw a promo video that he shot for the FCL. So hopefully maybe we'll see him there. Dean Lewis, how you doing, buddy? Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Glad to be on another video. Are we going to talk about Over the Hedge today? Because it seems like a running thing this week.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that seems like the star movie of this week is Over the Hedge.
So I'm looking to talk about that. Looking forward to the Saulshow. I want to find out if that's going to be his official new name. But yeah, let's go.
I hope so. And yeah, let's go. And as we usually do, we play a game here called Hot Matches. There are predetermined times that only Frenchie knows, who is sitting backstage. And when those times come up, whoever's talking is eliminated, meaning they are dropped from the screen. And we do this until there's one player left. And the order of the interviews comes into play as far as the rewards and the rewards and the
spoils.
The spoil. No, the spoils would be rewards, aren't they? Like we got the spoils from the battle. Anyway.
Already eliminated.
Right, so I'm going to start off with the first matches with Greg Gobble and Saul. Now, something that I've been looking for is what would happen if a competitor needed all their points but could check down a multiple choice and misses it. Would their opponent be able to steal it, or will the game just end? And we found that out. The answer to my question got answered with Saul and Greg, because in round 2, Greg checked multiple choice on his fourth question, missed it, and the game was over. Saul wasn't able to steal it. So that was something that I actually look forward to. So that's just what I wanted to say right off the top.
Do you think Saul's been able to steal that point, just for his overall record and statistics and stuff? He should have been allowed to maybe take that?
Yeah, I thought that should have been what happened, but I understand it from a numbers perspective. It's like it doesn't matter at this point. It's like it doesn't matter if he loses or not. He's won. It
only matters on shows like this, right?
Yeah. I think from a show perspective too, Christian prefers it to have that big moment of, and your winner and all that good stuff. I mean, he still had to hit his 2-point after that anyway to even stay in the game. So even if he had gotten that multiple choice, he still needed to get a 2-point. If he missed that, he would have gotten knocked out anyway. So
yeah,
it would have been weird to have that little end bit on the end of the match, right before they announced the winner, just to be like, oh, by the way, you're gonna steal, and now I won.
Yeah,
anyway,
but I'm surprised.
Weird.
Sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say, I'm just surprised that Greg actually missed some of those questions. I'm not a good Inner Geekdom player, but some of those Jurassic Park questions, even I knew. I was shocked.
Yeah, I was even saying it's Pirates of the Caribbean. The pirates don't eat the guests, John. I was telling that to Jay off screen before the show, so I was pretty shocked that Greg missed that. But how impressive was Saul just nailing every single one of those Batman questions?
There
was a couple of spicy ones as well.
I mean, he was pretty confident picking that when Spinner's Choice came up. He didn't even hesitate, which I like. He knew what he wanted, and he just went for it right away. He was like, we're not messing around with time here.
I wonder if he's able to answer the ultimate controversy of this week about Batman.
We've got to get his take on that. I've got a feeling I know which way Saul's going to lean on that. But we'll
see.
We'll see.
I guess we shall see.
But you got to assume that every IG competitor is going to nail that Batman category, right? That's got to be like the top 3 IG categories right now that you would want, presumably. I would imagine so.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know if everyone's going to hit those questions because everyone is so into Batman. There are going to be like some pretty deep questions in that category, and there's not like it's not like a huge category in the sense of there's like 20 movies. Like Superman's a little bit more deep in terms of how many movies there are.
Oh, sorry, Nancy.
I'll tell you what tripped me up.
I was going to say that I think Superman and Batman have the same amount of movies. I may be wrong, but we're not going to go into that.
Yeah. What tripped me up with the amount of the Batman movies? One of the questions is how many Batman movies does Ben Affleck appear in? And I know that they said Christian
Suicide
said
Squad he appeared at the end.
Yeah, but what about Snyder Cut? Does that count? Because I know they said that
didn't have a theatrical release.
But I heard that there was going to be some Snyder Cut in the IG this season, because I'm sure it was a question on SCN Live at one point, and I was sitting there thinking, well, if it is included, do I count that and Justice League, or do I just pick one? And doesn't he appear in Wonder Woman as well?
I would say if I was.
And your winner is Dean Sweaty Armpits, everybody.
How is the person who talks the most won?
And that's the way the rubber ball bounces, dude.
Yeah. Sometimes that timer gets you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And yes, they.
I didn't realize we were playing right away.
But they are including Snyder Cut, correct?
I don't think.
I think they are. I can't remember. I'm almost positive that they're including.
I'm almost positive I heard a question about, not a question about. Yeah, I think they are.
So then you count Snyder Cut and
Harloff might need to clear the air on that one.
Justice League and Snyder Cut.
I don't know.
That would be 2 then. If you count Snyder Cut, then you've got to count that as 2 appearances as Batman, right?
Yeah, that'd be 4 movies then.
And then, yeah.
Interesting.
And the Wonder Woman cameo. Sure, in Wonder Woman at the beginning, is there a Bruce Wayne, or do we just see like Diana, like, or the computer terminal? I don't know if it counts. I'm sure we see some Bruce Wayne stuff in there, but I might be remembering it wrong. I'm trying to purge Wonder Woman from my brain after.
I don't know. I think the writers would have definitely done their research, so they've been.
I'm sure
so lately, so I think they would have figured it out. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's something
that was a tough question. A lot of thinking.
Yeah,
there's a lot of thinking going on. But other than that, nice category. And that Jurassic Park one, you think it's just one of the newer categories? I feel like Greg Albert would have smashed the Batman category just as well as Shaw did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because those Jurassic Park questions were lame. It's almost like he wasn't expecting to see it like in there,
Yeah, I mean, I think I haven't seen a Jurassic Park movie for so long, but a lot of those questions, I'm like, oh, I know that one. Oh, I know that one. So yeah, I probably would have gotten a perfect score had he continued to the final end. But
would you have? Would you have, Mr.
Yes,
Super?
I think I would have.
Would you have now, with all the lights and the pressure raining down on you? You would have, huh? You know it.
I would have done it blindfold, like Tom Roca would have done in the old days.
Yeah, dude, those matches were awesome. That was so cool when Roca used to do matches blindfolded. I dug it, at least. I thought it was. But dude, who is this?
It was fun, like a couple of times.
Yeah, who is this? Who's this Newman guy? Dude, this guy's great.
Good stock.
Get all the little gloves.
Oh,
yeah, I love the gloves. I want to know where you get those gloves. Did they come with the hat? Is it a set? So many questions. Let's get Noom on the show, and then bring me on for that one too.
I think that's
Nooms. Sorry, Nooms.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he's really impressive. I mean, he was perfect the whole. Yeah, he was perfect the whole match. I mean, he got all of his round 1 questions. Yeah, he nailed every single one of his questions, including he stole 1 point, 1 question away from Jacoby. So he's shaping up to be a really honestly, I
he's
have to
so entertaining.
Yeah, I would have to look up, see how if he is like a MVP of the rookies, because I have to look that up and do some calculations. But yeah, he's been so far.
He's got to be up there.
Yeah.
Well, and exactly like he was saying, he didn't get thrown into his first match with another rookie. He got thrown in with someone who, you know, is pretty known in the league, and he held his own and won. And then coming into this match, going perfect in the first round. He's really good. And I love that he refers to himself as violently single. I thought that was hilarious. You know,
I missed that.
Yeah, I was in the beginning.
I never heard that one before.
He said Bancroft, you know, he already had a win. He got married, and Griffey Nooms is violently single. He needs this win. So, and he proved it. I mean, he did really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, I do actually want to bring Frenchie up here for a second. Hey, man, I got something I want to say to you, and I want to say it publicly. Now, I'm not 100% of the way there, but I'm halfway there. Buddy, I owe you an apology, a halfway of an apology.
I'll take it.
Finstock Exchange is doing a hell of a lot better than I was giving them credit for at the beginning of the season. I was 100% writing them off. I still don't have faith in Finstock as a manager. I think, like I've always said, it's the people around him that make him look great, in my opinion. But, hey, man, they did great. I was really skeptical about all the rookies and the way they drafted. Dude, it seems to be really fucking paying off.
And I get the hesitance, right? It seemed crazy, but there's something about his strategy that just made sense to me. So I've been delivering this since the beginning, and we've been arguing about this since the beginning. But I'm happy people are starting to turn around. It's not just a fluke, right? That they got really good players. Like goal leader, you know, again, not enough people are talking about him. He was so close. No one would have predicted he would have, you know, pushed Parker that much. So, no, I'm telling you, they have a hell of a season, half a season to come. And J-Wade, at the end of the year, you'll be fully on. You'll be fully on, my friend.
Yeah. See what happens. Now get out of here.
I have to
push back
say
on
that
something Jay said.
I kind of said that I was kind of there with you guys where I was going to write him off because he drafted mostly rookies, but he knows what he's doing. And I started noticing that really early on in the season as they started playing. And I'm like, okay, I was wrong. I will happily admit I'm wrong because that just makes it a better competition for me as someone just watches it and enjoying the game. But yeah, they're in second place now. Just imagine that. They were most of the people wrote them off. They're now in second place. I think there's only like a 9-point gap between first place and second place. 9-point gap.
Not bad at
between
all.
First place and second place. So yeah, they're catching up. And as I kind of predicted early in the month, that everybody's starting to catch up this month.
Nancy, what was your takeaway from this match?
I mean, in terms of Finstock Exchange, yeah, I was kind of the same boat. I wrote them off because he did draft a lot of rookies, and that's a huge swing when you don't really know how they're going to compete. But I think Griffey Nooms specifically has shown that a lot of these picks were really good. Now, for me, in order for a faction to be good, there also has to be consistency. So yeah, these rookies are having a great year, but I'm interested to see how they do next season as well, to see if they can maintain that.
Momentum.
I really want to push back on this narrative. He's not a great manager. He's just got good people around him, right? But those people who are around him are people that he drafted. Mm-hmm. So you can't take it away from him.
All the way. That was 100% Barbarian and Roca in that draft.
But,
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. But, okay, I have to interject here. I'm sorry. Okay, just because he doesn't do all the heavy lifting, he's smart enough to find the people and find the talent of those people to construct the best team possible. That is just using his smarts. If he can't do it himself, he knows who, and his instinct leads him to people who can definitely elevate the team and just use their skills as well, that is as much skillful as the guy who's deep in it, right? Just two different tactics.
Skillful. It's not as skillful, but I will.
But dude, that's what I do at my job. So
hold on.
Good management, right? It's delegation. You don't have to be great at, in any workplace, right? If you're a manager, you don't have to be great at every job. You have to be great at delegating every job, and that's what Gucci is great at. Apart from his chest, which is also great.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. He's great at
delegating. Let me say one thing. It's kind of like Star Trek with Jean-Luc Picard. We think of him as this great hero, but there's constant episodes of him saying around his staff saying, what are our suggestions? What are the things that we can do? He constantly asks people for help. And being a good leader, you have to take insight from people who are beneath you, or your subordinates, I should say. And that's the sign of a great leader, because even though you may think what's right, you hear other people's suggestions, and maybe someone else comes up with a better option. And I think that's what Gucci is doing, is that he is listening to people that he's surrounded by, and he's going forward, and that success is what is proving it.
And I also we don't know exactly what he's doing in terms of, he could be telling the players like, hey, go study this, go study that. And he is helping in that way. But I think what he also has to be careful of is actual in-match management, because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it was Taylor's on his team, right? Taylor's on the Finstock. And
yes.
In a match, Taylor really wanted to stick with Batman, and he advised her to spin away from it, and she ended up getting opponent's choice. So I think just stuff like that in match, he has to be really careful in terms of like maybe just allowing his players to kind of take the lead in that sense.
True.
Yeah.
I think win or lose this season, Finstock he's got to be contender for manager of the year, even if they ended up in like middle of the standings and not in second or first. I think it's got to be, because, like you're saying, the amount of points per rookie that he's accruing, like it's got to be higher than everyone else. And when they're unproven, it just adds that extra level of insight into what he's doing.
Well, we actually did have a breakdown of all the different points in all the different divisions, and last week. So I don't remember. So if you want to check that out, look on last week's sexy numbers, and you can see if the team is right about it.
Okay, I'm going to go check that out now. See you later, guys.
Wait. After the show.
I was going to let you do whatever you want to do, man. I was going to be like, hey, I support your decision to leave this show to go do something. That's what you so choose to do.
I got to get my soul time in, man, and then I'll go. But not until I've had my my soul. I want to get on the soul train. That's what I want to do.
We are going to move on to sexy numbers. We will come back and we'll finish talking about the last match, Lon Harris versus Chance Ellison, a little bit later on. But right now, everybody, it is time for...
I'm going to talk dirty to you for a second. Math.
Double D, sexy numbers. Dan, what do you got for us?
Okay, so let me bring this up. I'm doing solo this week. So basically, I wanted to know how many different scores there have been in the Schmoedown. So what does that mean by different scores? So if you have one singles match that has a score of 17-16, and then another singles match with the same score of 17-16, that's counted as one score. So how many 17-16, 17-15, 17-13, and so on and so forth have there been, based on number one, how many all of the divisions, and the 3-round, 5-round divisions. So with a 3-round singles division, this is basically what the shape looks like. You have, an important note is I don't count the overtime or a sudden death scores, because that could actually inflate the scores. So I like having an end point, which for a 3-round singles match is 27-27. And in a 3-round singles match, there's a possible of 338 possible scores. And out of the 5 years that the Schmoedown has been in this format, only 89 different scores have been filled. That is a 26% fill rate. Most of them are in the 3-round scores and in the 2nd round scores. Obviously, we haven't had too many knockout scores or round 1 scores, which is good for us because that means the matches have been really, really tight for the most part. For a 5-round match, obviously the possible scores are increased because you have more questions, you have more points available. So you have 767 possible scores. And out of the 5 years that the current format has been in, there's only 23 scores that have been filled, which is a 3% score rate, a fill rate. And that kind of makes sense because 5-round matches don't appear as much as 3-round matches. So that's going to be consistent across all 4 divisions. But it shows that, yeah, there's going to be a lot of scores that need to be filled up here. But I think that this is the year that we're going to actually see more scores up in this area. We have Dan Murrell, we have Chance Ellison, we have Viviani, we have the Kid. I think we're eventually going to get a perfect score of 40 to 40 this year because everyone has been playing on their A game so far. And moving on to teams, this is a 3-round teams. Notice that I'll flip back forth. With a 5-round singles match, the top scores are 40-40, 42, 38, 42, 37, and so on and so forth. We have the exact same scores at a 3-round match as is for a 5-round match in singles. And the only reason why that it's not the same possible scores is because there's 2 more questions asked in the second round, which gives us a total of 855 possible scores, yet only 81 scores have been found. That's a 9% fill rate. So we haven't seen much of most of them are in the second round score rate, second round scores, but we are starting to see more 3rd round scores. Now, a 5-round teams match has the most possible scores in the entire Schmoedown. So when I was doing my simulations for all the different possible scores, this is what I use because everything's going to be in here. Whether you're talking about IG, Star Wars, or singles, in any of the 3-round, 5-round matches, they will appear in here. So there's a total of 1,488 possible scores. There's only 20 scores that have been filled. That's a little over 1% fill rate. And of course, like I said, 5-round scores appear very briefly. So going on to IG and Star Wars. Now, IG and Star Wars have the exact same score, possible scores. It's the exact same graph. It's the exact same score, possible scores. So I just kind of combined the 2. And also, we don't have as many Star Wars and IG matches as compared to the other divisions. So it makes more sense just to combine them both. So so there's 474 possible scores for IG and Star Wars. Only 66 different scores have been filled in, and that's a 13% fill rate. And if you look over here, yellow is Star Wars, green is IG. For those of you who can't see, I'll see it. I'll say that most of the scores in round 3 are Star Wars scores. There's only like maybe 5 IG matches that are in the 3-round section. The second round is mostly consists of IG. Only 2 are Star Wars matches. So that's just proof that Star Wars competitors play on a different level to IG. With a 5-round match, you have a total of 983 possible scores. And out of that, only 23 scores have been filled in, which is a 2% fill rate. Now, we have seen some perfect Star Wars matches, so that's why those 2 stats are over here. But obviously, we still have a lot to fill in. But based on Chandru's comments last week, I think that we'll start to see IG start to fill up in the final round section because you have Robert Parker, you have Mark Anopik. We know we have, and we want to wish Kevin Smets congratulations on his success of smashing cancer. So hopefully he'll be able to return next season, and we can actually start seeing these final round scores being filled in. And that will conclude my segment. But we have a special caller on the line. We have Roxy Strider on the phone. Roxy, what do you think about my numbers? Roxy?
Yeah.
It was muted. We didn't hear Roxy.
Sexiest numbers by far.
Okay. Thank you, Roxy.
Sorry.
It wouldn't be a Speaking of Schmoedown without some glitches, right, Jay?
Well, I just learned something new with my equipment. I just learned something new. That evidently, if I'm at least not on screen, then it will not play the sound effects in the music. So learn something every day.
Yeah, but good to know.
I'll jump on screen before you're done, and then it'll flow a lot easier. In fact, you know what, guys? We just did a rewind. What was that again? Who you got a call from?
Oh, we got Roxy Strider on the phone. Roxy, what do you think of my numbers?
By far.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I ain't shy. Let's go ahead and let's finish up talking about a little bit more about the Ellison and Lon Harris match.
Yeah, give me 1 second while I bring up my spreadsheet. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, this is an interesting match to talk about. There's some stuff going on here.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm worried about Lon Harris, man. His performances have not been very good at all. And that not only affects that affects him in the singles, which affects the swag overall in singles, but then in teams also with Oyama, I mean, it's kind of a double whammy if you think about it.
Well, he started off strong. He had 8 points. He answered 8, and he just missed that final bonus question. So he started off strong. It's just that, the second round is where he really struggled. And
yeah,
he looked so checked out. He looked so checked out in round 2.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's no secret that he's not a fan of animation. And I think that, or animated, sorry. And I think spinning DreamWorks twice, he clearly wanted to spin away from it, and getting it again probably kind of threw him for a loop. I don't think he did horrible, though. I just did not expect it to. I really expected a chance to at least answer some questions in round 3. But yeah, that round 2 really took him out of the game.
Lon looked like he knew all those Eddie Murphy questions as well. I could see Lon smiling at those Eddie Murphy questions, like he was ready for those steals to come his way. And unfortunately, he didn't get a lot of that going on. When this match, to rewind a little bit, when this match started and Lon comes on screen and he's using like 2, 3, 4, 5 syllable words, and I was like, oh, is the professor coming back? Like, was it a deliberate change in like character direction? But then, like you say, by the time we get to round 2, it just seems like he had something else going on that day. But I don't know. I'd like to see a change of character for Lon. We've had both ends of the spectrum now. Maybe it's time to just have more of a Lon, Maybe if we can kind of take that pressure off of his homeless shoulders, then maybe that might improve his game a little bit. I don't know. I
wouldn't mind the professor back.
I would like the professor back. I thought that was going to be a thing with Jonathan Harris and bringing him back. To be honest, we've not really had a lot of scenes in general, like the last week or 2. I feel like we started getting a lot more scenes, and now it kind of seems to have dropped off again. I don't know.
That's kind of like normal. I mean, usually we do have like a dry period between scenes, between like cutscenes. So that, I mean, I have noticed it, but it's kind of been normal that we have a lot of cutscenes. Then we just go into the matches for a while, and then we kind of wrap up once we get into Spectacular.
Yeah, I just thought because we wasn't able to do any scenes for a while. Like, they were really hitting them extra hard the last couple of months. Like, I thought we were just gonna, just keep amping it up until we kind of get into tournament season, and then they would die down. But the matches have been great without them. We've had some great story and drama, including the Saul and Alba match, which we'll talk to more hopefully with Saul.
Yeah, Saul, he needed us to push 15 minutes. So he will be on here in 15 minutes, which means we are going to go ahead and move on to Frenchie's Corner. So if we can drop everyone off politely, everyone else off screen, bring Frenchie up.
Really nice to meet you.
I'll do the most politely possible. Fuck you, Dan.
Oh,
Fuck you, Dean. Fuck you, Nancy.
Oh!
I had to do it.
It's okay. You're being fair.
There's a big echo, by the way.
Is it me?
I think so. Oh, it stopped. Okay.
It might have been me.
Maybe. All right. So, yeah, Frenchie's Corner. Yeah, thank you, HG. I think we fixed a large echo. If ever it is still going. Okay, gone now. Perfect. All right. So, this is going to be an interesting one. For Frenchie's Corner, this is an interesting one because, like, we're talking about Finstock, right? It's all rookies, and some of them have really been going on a run. So, should 2-0 rookies start getting a title path? There's going to be a lot more rookies getting injected season by season. You know, how do you treat them? Like, do you just do rookie versus rookie and contain the best rookies out of it? And then you go into a title path, or do you integrate like any other veteran? If there's in the season, they're 2, 3, you're starting thinking, hey, they're having a good season and they're having a title. So how would you, Jay Wade, handle the situation?
Well, according to the question, should 2-0 rookies start getting a title path? I say no. That 2-0 record is not something that is just like, okay, well, we're going to show you the door toward the title. As far as one other thing you said there, I would have rookies make their debut match against other rookies, and then depending on their performance, have them play either another rookie or someone else who's not a rookie in their next match, just depending on how they did. But no, I don't think it should be like that, dude. I want to see a fight to the title, which includes more than 2 matches. Which includes more than two matches, because you're saying 2-0. So I mean, even though they're wins, that's 2 matches, and you're already on the path to the title. Sorry, I'm not on board with that.
And by the way, this was ASG's suggestion, so I actually didn't came up with a 2-0. I will hesitantly say yes, because I'm not fully on board on 2-0. You're automatic. You go for a title shot. Depends who you face. Like you said, right? If it's another rookie and you almost got like a TKO and that person was not ready, did not know what the fuck they were going into, you know, it's a win, but it doesn't really show your skill set. But if you go head to head into a rookie match and it's almost like perfect rounds and man, both are doing good, it just first brain fart, right? So it really depends on the type of matches, the almost like a UFC boxing instinct of it, right? I forgot the name of the kid, like this, like maybe 8 years ago, the one with the backhand UFC. He was very young. He had like 2 matches, but Dana saw something, put him in a contention match for a replacement, and he won the belt, right?
Those 2 matches could be a total fluke, dude.
It could be, but it depends on the match. It depends. Look at the matches.
And therefore, it's not earned. You need to earn that title shot, which means you need to play more than 2 fucking matches.
But look at Collins. Collins, after 2 matches, is getting some buzz compared to other rookies had 2 matches and weren't getting as much buzz. It's because of the way the matches went down, the way he played. So if you have a really good match combination with a 2, well, obviously you do.
Show me someone else who held a title in the past who were ushered toward the path after just 2.
This is the thing, because there weren't much rookies in a sense of objected here and there. But you know, after Collins, that kind of changed the game. Now we're in a season we're gonna get injections, right? So we're gonna see things in situations very rarely seen back in the past because the game is changing. It's okay.
You're killing me.
Who's Jay Wade? All right, so let's go on to the second subject. And
second thing you're wrong about? Just saying.
Yeah. All right. Should Swag consider a trade to shake things up? And this hurts my soul, this question. But I say no. And not because they don't need it. They need a shake-up. They need something to happen. They need to win. It just, what do you trade, right? Obviously, the easy answer is Lon Harris. But again, he's very hot and cold, like we said before. Dean, you're going crazy. I can see you. It's all good. But there's not much you can change him for. You need someone someone who's struggling. You could, but who's struggling that could actually benefit in the Swag, right? So it's really a question of, are you just trading him to trade him for?
No. This is where Winston thinks about next season's draft, dude. You find a faction that's lower in the ranks and really could use.
But they need to drop off someone. If they don't have open slot, they have to make room for.
So you trade Lon to a faction that really needs help, but you don't trade him for another player. You trade him for draft picks for next season. You make one of those kind of deals, dude.
Here's the problem with that. No. Jay, wait. Here's the problem with that. You have to get a faction.
Dude, right now, I hate to say it, but right now, Lon he's a problem on two fronts. Like I just said a minute ago, singles and in teams. He's a double anchor right now on Swag. And I don't think, and maybe it's not that he played poorly. Maybe it's probably more likely that we expect so much more from him that when his performance isn't seem up to par, we maybe kind of doubt it. But like I said, right now, he is an anchor in two different divisions for that.
I get it, but at the same time, if you're going for draft picks, right, you need to find a faction that either has an open slot or is willing to drop a player to put Lon Harris, right? So unless
at least 2 or 3 factions. The bottom 3 factions, I'm sure, would be happy.
If I was manager, even if I had someone who's shaky, I wouldn't risk on Lon, to be honest, because I need stability.
You don't think there's one person on all?
No, you know why? Because the free agency just passed. The free agency just passed. So people who had to be dropped is already dropped. And they picked up people. So
I'm saying, you don't think there's anyone on any of the lower 3 factions that Lon Harris would be better than?
No, because again, the spring cleaning is done. They took away the pieces that needed to be took away in their eyes, and now the free agency, right? So maybe before the free agency, perfect timing. But now it's past, the timing is gone. So if I was a manager, I already did my spring cleaning. I don't think Lon is interesting enough for me to take that chance.
Your spring, but Lon wasn't available in the free agency, so you had no idea.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Available, you would have dropped somebody else and picked you. That's what I'm saying.
No. Like,
you don't think there's not one player in the bottom 3 factions that Lon Harris contributes to that faction better than.
So if there is, you obviously think there is. Name me one.
There has to be. I don't.
No, I don't agree. That being said, enough about us. I want to have the opinions of the co-hosts today. Let's just see what they think.
Yep.
Okay, so I was about to text in that I just looked at the roster of everyone. I see no one that will trade with anybody for Lon. I personally don't think that. And as for
I don't want to see Lon.
I just don't see it. But I do agree that they should do something. But they're stuck in the boat. They should have taken this opportunity for free agency. They should have dropped Lon at that moment.
What are you talking about?
I don't think you should drop Lon, though.
Never drop Lon.
Here's the thing. He had a couple shaky matches, but there's ebbs and flows to this game, right? Oyama had a really good season and then kind of dropped off for a while. So would you get rid of him then? No. Lon is really good. He has a few blind spots, possibly needs to work on because of this shaky match, but he is really good. He is very knowledgeable when it comes to movie trivia. So I think it would be a mistake to trade him.
I will
drop him.
I kind of agree, but as to what Jay was saying about Lon hurts both
Thank you, Leo.
teams and singles. I would say that he only hurts teams because you're allowed to have. You're basically going to submit 2 teams for the team's tournament. Singles, we don't know what's going to happen in singles. I'm estimating that there's only going to be 8, or let's say it is 16 competitors in the singles tournament. You can put someone else in that team's tournament slot. You don't have to put Lon in. You can put Oyama. You can put someone else in there.
I'm sorry, and I'm going to drop out right after this. But I mean, he's already affected. He's already negatively affected the swag in teams just by losing this last match that he lost. I mean that.
But the tournaments will affect that eventually because they will gain those points. We're actually discussing that. Let's assume that Swag does win all the tournaments, they will gain 49 points, but that's only if they win every single match in that tournament. And we're assuming that
knockouts.
Yeah.
And if they have knockouts, obviously that could be more. But let me weigh on this Lon stuff.
Yes.
I need to weigh on this Lon stuff before I die. Okay.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the second part. Should 2-0 rookies get a path to the title match? I don't think so because we've seen. Let's just say Kevin Smith. He was 3-0. And I still say that he needs to prove himself because his last competitor was Stacey Howard. Now he's going to face Marisol McKee. If he wins that, then yes, I do believe that it should be in contention for a title match. But that's only if he beats Marisol. But at the time, I was saying no. He still needs to make one more match to be worthy of a title match, which obviously did. So if it's a 2-0. No, I think it would have to be at least 3-0 to be on that title match.
Potentially, but I think also looking at the question of should someone, I don't think, should someone? No. Possibly, yes. Especially with a 2-1. And keep in mind the question saying on a path to a title match, not necessarily throwing a title match at them right after that. And it also depends on the matches too, because look at Griffey Nooms. He took out Hoyt in his very first match, and then I think that was his very first match. And then he's continuing to do really well after those 2 matches. So I think it's all dependent on who they play, and also if they're bringing character too, because you don't want to see someone who's kind of dull with a 2-0 going into a title path match, who doesn't really have a lot of character. And as much as we want to rely on the trivia, sometimes character does come into play a little bit.
Yeah, Newman definitely does have good character. I'm actually more.
And he's good.
Yeah,
he's good. Great. Yeah, he's one of the rare people.
That's a good argument, but how many Newmans are there in the Schmoedown? Not many.
Right,
so
and that's why I say
I think it'd be the exception to the rule. But I don't think we should make that.
If I can check that, that's exactly what I'm saying, right? It's not everyone, but there's some people you can target. Like when Ace start getting on that run, you can see something special, right? Mm-hmm. He should be in the main storyline, and picking out your main people to put on the poster live events. Even though the rookies, it's all about the substance, not always about the quantity. But if that quantity is low and you can see the substance is heavy, you take it and you try to see where it goes.
Yeah,
that's why I say should.
There's got to be a way.
Not should, but possibly.
Yeah, there's got to be a way to measure the disparity between the records of a rookie and who they're playing. So if you're coming in as a rookie and your first 2 wins are against Ethan Irwin and John Roker, versus playing 2 other rookies, then yeah, it's a completely different conversation. But obviously, if you're coming in as a rookie, chances are you're going to play 2 rookies. But then if you Ace with a tournament run, that's not necessarily going to be the case. He had Ken Knapsack as one of his second match. I think that was after the play-in, right, against some dude who's not even in the Schmoedown anymore. So it kind of makes the point, But yeah, I think if there's a way to make that fair, that if you play high level competitors and you get 2 wins, then maybe you can get 1. But maybe if you're playing rookies and you get 4 wins in a row against 4 rookies, then that evens out. If there's a way we can have that consistent and fair for everyone, and you're the numbers guy, Dan. You'd be able to work that out.
Well, first I need to do my research first before I.
Yeah, you could go away, come back. I'll wait here. It's fine.
We don't have time. But I would say that. Let me ask this question: if a rookie does do 2-0 and they play really good and they have the character, should their next match be someone of noteworthy? Like let's say Griffey Newman's. Let's say he battles Roka. Would that be something that's possible? Because and kind of put him in to see what he really knows. Basically throwing him in the deep water.
Well, Roka, no. Roka, no. Riley, yes. You need someone who's at a downfall, not at a fall. So Riley versus Newman.
Okay, I'll that's fair.
I think another factor to kind of put into this is we're gonna.
Dean, I'm sorry. Dude, this is how it goes when the Saulshow shows up. Like every fucking thing else stops. Before we get into the Saulshow, we're still going to do it the way we normally do it, which is here the hot matches rules take the winners and losers comes into play here. The winner, who is Dean, will start the interview one-on-one with the Saulshow. Then second place winner joins in a bit later, then the third, and then the loser joining in last. So we play for stakes here. It's not just some fun little game. So Dean, as the winner, why don't you introduce our guest and let's get this going on.
Introducing 15 minutes late, but that's okay. We have the Saulshow, the Soul Train, the Soul Stone, anything you want to put his name in. Let's do it. Put Soul in anything and anyone you want, and it will be great. Soul, how you doing?
Yo, Dean, buddy. First of all, I'm not 15 minutes late. I pushed for 15 minutes shortly before 3 o'clock. Therefore, I made it in.
On the line. Okay, he got that in and is, it's a revised appropriate time for you to be here. And we got you here anyway. Glad to get you either way.
No, actually, I'm late. I'm sorry about that. I had, if it makes you feel better, it was Schmoedown business. It wasn't, I know you guys don't want to hear about my real life. So in my pretend Schmoedown life, there was actually a to-do that needed to be handled. Organizing your next match, perhaps. Do we know when that's coming? You're not allowed to say, right? But do you know? I do. Yeah, I'll be playing the winner of Moses versus Haas at Collision next month in July for the #1 contendership for the Intergeekdom title.
Yes, and Collision's going to be. Is that going to be live or is that going to be pre-recorded or?
And that's confidential information, Dean. We can't just be promoting our matches like that. That would be, disastrous.
Are you prepared for either version of that match, the live version, the pre-recorded version? Does that change your approach at all?
No, not at all. It doesn't change my approach at all, Dean. I would prefer it live. Would prefer it live.
You want to prove yourself in the live arena, right? Is that what it is?
Well, yeah, I think I'm better live. I think it's more entertaining, I think, to watch me, and I think I can actually perform better live. I like inviting stress into my life for some foolish reason. A couple years ago, I figured out that inviting stress into my life is a good motivator. And since then, I seek out opportunities to do that. So ideally live, ideally in person. I mean, a lot of the United States is open. I'm fully vaxxed. I think every player that's ever played me in a digital format, whether they realize it or not, has had an advantage. They've had I've been handicapped. I don't think all my preparation to this day is geared around playing face to face, geared at looking over and a few feet away is my opponent. I still am not kind of. The digital format is not something that's really permeated into my process. I think you get me into a studio, you get me into a theater. I think that's when you're going to get all of me. I don't think in digital format I've really been able to give that yet. So I would love, I would fly anywhere. I'd go play in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean on some derelict oil rig where there's some black market trivia contest going on. I'll be there.
Probably Jeff Snyder running that one, I think.
Absolutely, Snyder and John Kaiser and Jeff Snyder running
the Fight Club of the Schmoedown.
It'll be like Enter the Dragon, but it'll be trivia contest. We invite all these people to this illegal island. They'll probably be smuggling in endangered species in the back. It'll be the best. It's the best for everybody. I don't know why we're not pushing this. Trivia Island.
Before I let Dan jump in here, I want to rewind to something you said about inviting stress into your life, and somebody who definitely does not seem to invite stress into their life is the man Greg Alba. Now, does his lack of apparent stress, does that stress you out more? Does that infuriate you, or do you think, oh well, this guy's taking it easy, I can take it easier, or does it flip you the other way? I'm interested.
Oh no, that would be that's a trap. That's a good way to get trapped, is by playing down to the level of your competition. That's a great way. That's a great way for good players or even better players to lose to other players. And we've seen it. We've seen players who don't have the knowledge base and the ability to recall their knowledge base and under pressure defeat players who are better than them at that, because those players are now playing at the level of their competition. It is a mental discipline to not do that, because you want to come in. I have part of my process that has really gotten pretty good is my player assessment. The way I can look at a body of work and assess a player, what they're going to do, have a rough idea. But no, not everyone. Every Schmoedown match is different. The same two people could play 10 matches a row in the same day, and you'll get 10 different results. So part of my process is looking at someone's basement and someone's ceiling. And I invite the fans to do this as well. If you go back through Greg Alba's history in the Schmoedown, he's got his basement's impressive. Not everyone's their basement, not everyone's their ceiling. I have to look at a lot of factors to get an image of who I think these guys are going to be. But I always overestimate. I always expect their best. I expect that. I expect their best performance in their best day. I expect they've gotten their best wheel slice. I don't ever anticipate a lucky one. I don't anticipate an easy day at the office. And I think that's probably what I think you guys see, that intensity you guys see from me, your guys' words, not mine. I think that's a lot. That's what that is. It's just, I'm expecting to fight for my life here. I feel like I'm.
I believe I said smoldering intensity. Over to you, Dan.
I got to cut you off because it's my turn now. So, kind of going off what you just said, Saul, do you feel that your attitude to like expecting people's best, do you think that's kind of attitude is what is different with the Den this season as opposed to last season?
Are you insinuating we weren't doing that last year? Is that what's going on?
I'm just saying maybe you're doing something different this season and it's improving what you're doing this season.
Double D, are you calling the 2020 Den losers? Do I have to fucking?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying you're improving.
You're saying something.
He is
saying something, Double D.
He
I
is.
don't know.
I can confirm. I can read between the lines.
The only way I would ever call you a loser if you came in last place, and the Den did not come in last place. So no, I'm not saying you're a loser, but you're improving from what you did last season.
Everybody, I got a news flash for you, and I want all the reactor types and all the fans to write this down. Not every player, shut up, Shug. Not every player is a monolith. Not every player is a tombstone with just one thing written on it. Players grow. Players adapt. They move on. They get better. Their life changes. Their desires change. Their ability changes. I keep studying these movies over and over and over again. By accident, you're going to improve. Your knowledge base is by accident going to improve. You get into a study session. I get into a study session with Thomas Harper. By accident, through osmosis, I'm getting Star Wars information. I'm getting better. My unconscious confidence is improving. Everyone has the ability to improve. The worst player in the league could be the champion this season. Or next season, maybe, because of the way that we're structured. I might have to play Moses at Collision. That's a guy who came out and did not have a good debut. I will not anticipate that match. I will not anticipate that performance going into Collision. That would be foolish. The Den has improved because I think a lot of the way the faction structure, the way we're structured as a team now, is that we're on top of each other. We're all talking to each other almost on a daily basis. Sometimes for a few minutes. Sometimes we're spending hours in a conversation like this on a Zoom call. We're getting to know each other, and I think that group, that support structure, just will accidentally make you a better player. The faction system of 2021 has accidentally made better Schmoedown players. It's made better Schmoedown matches. You want to go out and fight. I mean, the real people, the real competitors, they want to go out and fight for their faction mates. They want to carry their banner in the battle and be the one standing there at the end. And that's a great motivator. And I think that's what you're seeing with the Den. You see our improvement is because of our environment. Environment is such a vital component to growth in any realm. The Schmoedown is a better league this year because of the faction system that was set up. And that is why the Den is improved. And you haven't seen anything yet. We're at the we're about the halfway mark. We're at the halfway mark.
Almost.
And we're not at full. Much like me, you haven't seen the full capacity of what I can bring to that table yet. You haven't seen everything the Den can do yet, and it's going to be ferocious.
I'm expecting you to be in 4th or 5th place by my end of July. That's what I'm expecting.
Oh wow, 4th or 5th, Double D. Don't flatter me. Oh my God, 4th or 5th. He says, I'm going to go call Kate. I'm going to tell her to let's get a skywriter to celebrate.
But hey, everyone
else
else is reaching there, so it's getting close. It's turning into a fight.
Double D, you really know how to charm a guy. I tell you, wow. When 4th or 5th place, I should. Can we get rid? Where's Jay, by the way? Where the hell is he?
Confidence, you want to be on swag.
Well, you go ahead.
Well, you know what? I'm up next, so how about that? Well, first of all, hi, Sal. It's nice to meet you.
Hi. Nancy, you're Eric's sister, right?
I sure am. Some people call me Sister Chronic.
That is this is the smartest thing Jay's ever done because I'm not going to be mean to Nerd Chronic's sister, so this is brilliant. How you doing?
Well, I appreciate it. I'm good. Well, my question is, you've had some pretty dramatic wins with your KOs, including Mark waiting for Christian to call your win, which was a little, yeah. So my question is, would you prefer it that way to build momentum going into your next match, or would you have rather gone into round 3 questions to prep for the upcoming match?
Well, guys, if you watch my matches, you know that I can't possibly compete in round 3. When round 3 comes, it's going to be over. I'm going to lose no matter what. As soon as round 3 starts, I might just wet my pants and run out of the room. I don't know. Round 3, that's an insurmountable challenge, and it's very obviously Moose Haas will take advantage of that when I play him, or Kangaroo Moses, or whoever it is. I think you know what? Seriously, I think it's worked out pretty well for me. The less you know about me, the better. And if you want to, and if the Finstock Exchange and the usual suspects camp right now, someone's over there preparing for me. If you want to think this guy can't possibly go 3 rounds because he's knocked people out, if that thought is honestly entertaining your head, I'm gonna let it. You go ahead. You think that one through, or don't. Either way, I'm gonna benefit. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I just talked about improvement, and me being in the Schmoedown is a form of self-improvement. I've applied myself to this. I've decided I've dedicated this in a big way, in a serious way. You can still have fun while being serious, by the way. But this is my form of I'm bettering my personhood through this bracket, the bracket of the Schmoedown world. And if you guys think after watching my debut last year, which if you did, I lost in the 3rd round. If you guys think that was not a particular area of focus, despite all the other improvement everywhere, again, you don't have to. Don't think I've been thinking about round 3 every single day since mid-May last year. You don't have to think about that. And I'm looking forward to making my round 3 debut, and I think it's going to have a similar end to all the other matches I've had this year. I'm not afraid of it. I don't have a problem with it. It's probably a good thing that you haven't seen what I can do. I'm willing to bet no one's assessed me properly. All of this is a positive thing for me.
Well, I like it. Prepping for round 3 without showing your cards. It's good.
Yeah.
Jake?
Well, first I want to ask you, do you still have a heart out today? I don't want to make.
No, I don't. No, I wanted to tell you that. I do not have a heart out. You got me for as long as you want.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, is that coffee you're drinking, I assume?
I don't drink coffee. I'm a green tea guy.
Oh,
Nice.
All right. Well,
And I left the bag.
Real reject.
I like the green tea.
I should have just did the bit and not asked, but it's too late.
You should have. Again, it's
We're just changing the green tea.
I want to go back to something. Now, I think you were putting words into Dan's mouth. He wasn't calling you were the Den losers. That's you were over.
No. I said the only way I would call anyone a loser is that they came in last place. The Den did not come in last place.
Yeah, now I understood what you were saying.
I'm getting pissed off all over again. This is amazing.
Dude, I just want to say that I know you're not a loser. I know the Den are not losers.
I would never draft a loser in my fantasy league, and you're in my draft fantasy league.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, I do want to say, and you are not a loser, Saul. However, there is a fact that you have lost a match in the Schmoedown, so you have been a loser at some point in time during your Schmoedown career so far. But that doesn't make you a loser, dude. You're not a loser. I think you're one of the brightest upcoming stars in the Schmoedown. I stick by everything I say, man. I say within the next, I don't know, maybe 3 years, 2 or 3 years, you are going to be in the Star Wars division as well, kicking ass, dude. I know it.
I feel that's coming. I've had that feeling.
I felt that was coming too until I met Lacey Gillerin, and she has bullied those thoughts out of my head. Lacey Gillerin. Lacey Gillerin is a heavy hitter.
Good night.
Just was in the chat.
Is this ESPN? Can you get more shit at the bottom of the screen today? I mean, I'm trying to do a show here, and I gotta be doing live reads like it's a radio program. Hi, Brandon. Nice to see you. Cool. No, Brandon can hang out. But no, Lacey, I go into these study sessions, and like Lacey Gillerin is putting Thomas Harper and myself through the wall. I can't wait for you guys to see her again this year. She had the first match of last season, so she kind of was. It was kind of like, welcome to the party. By the way, you got to clean up right now, and it was. She was in a weird place. I know what she was going through because I was there too, but I kind of expected it because I wasn't a rookie. She got hit with a tidal wave as soon as she stepped into the ocean, and she almost got past gold leader. And I'm telling you what, she's maybe going to be the most improved Den player this year, going from match 1 to what she does next. She is no joke. And I tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing her play. And I don't want to run around the Star Wars division with Lacey Gillerin and Thomas Harper running around. And
fair, very fair.
Bonjour, Saul. This question obviously doesn't apply to Double D here, but for your fans, because you got a lot for your fans from the right get-go, the beginning, that believed in you, and now are proving all the naysayers wrong. What is the message you want to give to those fans?
Just keep enjoying the ride. I look. I don't ask you to follow me. I don't ask you to retweet me. I'm not asking you for anything except just enjoy the ride and stick with the Saulshow, because those dividend checks are coming in soon. All right. The people who have been the people who have opened their arms and who appreciate this and take this nonsense into their life because they find it funny or entertaining or for whatever reason. I know I owe you guys a debt, and I'm going to keep paying it off. I'm going to keep paying it off with knockouts and title matches and hardware. I see you all. I know who you guys all are. And even though I know I don't shout at everybody, it's just I've never had a social media account until I got a mandated Twitter account. I had to get a Twitter account to play in the Schmoedown.
Now, one thing I've been seeing, you were intense since the get-go, right? You've been really into it and wanting to show what you're made of. But that intensity, that focus, that drive to win has been seen to amplify every time you're on, right? So are you at the limit of your focus, or you think you're gonna get more and more and more dangerous and focused you go on?
Over 9,000.
I already said that this whole thing is about personal growth, and I every time I play a Schmoedown match, every question I get better, whether I miss the question or not. There's no way I'm not getting better. If Greg Alba would have knocked me out, I would have learned from that as well. Brandon Hanna, smart ass. I learned that Brandon should have just let me win. The Schmoedown would have been a much calmer place. If he would have let me win, I would have got cocky and lost interest and gave up. But because he had to be a smartass and beat me in a Schmoedown match, I've dedicated the past year of my life to doing nothing but improving this. And every opportunity, I get better, and I figure out, ooh, that. You know, the way you were thinking about that question, that's less effective than if you do it this way. Or the way you broke down Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Secret of the Ooze. That isn't as. There's a better way to break that movie down. To understand the act structure, you'll understand the motivation to the character. You'll understand the trivia aspect more. I'm learning new ways all the time. It's fun. It's become a borderline obsession. And no, if you think you've seen my ceiling yet, again, anyone who thinks they're going to be playing me this year at any point, go ahead. Walk around thinking I'm at my ceiling.
I see your ceiling right now. What are you talking about? It's like, I mean, it's like white, probably.
I've never liked you.
I've
never liked you.
Every week after
the
the
one thing I
every
did
week.
notice is that the Quirky Mercs did send you both their points in the background. I didn't know.
Well, no, the Schmoedown,
So
the Schmoedown sent me the points. It's a I like how in Brendan's story I'm the villain. The Schmoedown sent me the points that I took from the Quirky Mercs. It was a touching gesture on their part. They didn't have to do that. But they also sent me a letter saying, hey, look, we're not supposed to have favorites, but we do, and it's you. So they gave me the points, and thank you very much for that if you're watching, League. And I plan on making room for more.
Nice.
So that being said, I'll drop out, but nice seeing you again, Saul. Till next win, my friend.
Later, French.
Frenchie, come on, man.
A rose by any other name.
Dude, you know, you and I go back a long way, about what, 2 years. You're the man.
Wow.
I enjoy your company and all that kind of good stuff. Just wanted to say welcome to the show, and you know, welcome and all that. You know,
Hey Jay.
Shirt says corruption.
Hey Jay.
Yeah.
Shirt sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want you to know that.
I was wearing my Den shirt earlier, if that makes you feel any better.
It certainly doesn't. That doesn't affect me at all because I don't believe you. And furthermore, even if you were,
it's on video, dude.
Shut up, Jay. And even if you did,
just dropping them out only because I know I can.
And you heel. If you think because you heel turn on me, I'm going to somehow respect you. Hey, remember back when I wasn't a backstabber? That's not how that works. That's not how this works. You don't. And by the way, I got to tell Kate not to tell you. I was going to tell her to do the show. Now I got to change my mind. So it's a good thing you showed me that. Thank you.
What you? Oh, dude, come on. So, well, my next question, which probably isn't going to go over well now,
probably not.
I'm gonna try to put together a little trailer for my show here. I was wondering if you would just cut a little promo about how amazing I am and how great the show is, and how I'm the only person in this speaker that like really has a true grasp on.
So for his ego, please don't do it.
Pretty much just make it out like I'm awesome, and then maybe people will believe it.
I have a penchant for getting lazy and wasting time. And few times this past couple years have I wasted my time so spectacularly and foolishly than while joining Jay Wade on his show. Don't be like me. I am a cautionary tale. Jay will suck your soul. He's awful. Run. Don't watch this. How's that?
I actually love it.
There you go. You heard it here first. Jay is officially a soul sucker. Whatever that means.
It means I suck souls. I don't know.
He's a Dementor.
Yeah, which is better than the other kind. But anyway, okay, now, you said that you guys spend hours together, the den, that is, getting to know each other better, training, I'm sure. Would you be able to give us an idea, like, of the group, who would be like the baby of the group? Not baby, but the youngest sibling, and who would be the older sibling? Like, who picks on who and stuff like that? Can you tell us anything about that kind of stuff? Because I can imagine you guys, with the personalities you have, there's got to be some great moments that happen behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, a lot of times we're sitting around the pool. We're doing snapping towels at each other, playing grab ass. It's a lot of fun.
I knew it. I knew it.
The den is a hoot. I can't believe I get to have that in my life right now. It's a very free flowing vibe. The StreamYards are excellent. I mean, everyone's fair game. I guess I can't think of who the ball buster is, so that's when I realized it's probably me. I kind of just say the things.
Can I ask?
Challenge you?
Does anyone challenge? No, Jay. Everyone's cool. Everyone gets that I'm joking around and that I'm doing this.
Well,
I'm improving morale.
I mean, as far as ball busting, like you are probably the most, I would say, intimidating one of the group. Like, does anyone ever step up to you and throw it back?
Lacey Gillerin is way more intimidating than me. I promise you.
Really?
When she has a particular way of laughing at you when you miss a goddamn arcane Return of the Jedi question. She has a way of seriously. I feel like all those kids I stuffed in lockers growing up. I'm like, this doesn't feel good to be this way. Maybe I was wrong to do that to people. Peggy Gubbins is way more intimidating than me.
Nancy,
I confirm that women are more intimidating.
Wow.
Nancy, I'm sorry.
I'm a fun-loving type of dude. What are you talking about, Jay? Intimidating.
Oh, I know you are.
Have you ever seen Mark Riley scream like he used to in Collider Live? You don't want to be in the business end of that. I'm a kitten. What are you talking about?
Well, how does because Just Ross, he just went to the den. Has he been able to hop on any study sessions yet?
Jeff Ross, the comedian's on the den now?
No, Ross from FCL.
Oh, Ross.
Yeah,
Arsenal.
I think it was by Just Ross. That's what he was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm going to have to. If Jeff Ross shows up, I'm going to have to up my roasting game. Yeah, Arsenal, the rookie. I've given him a bit of the business. Let him know he's in the big leagues now. No, he popped right in, and I'm in charge of keeping the Star Wars competitors and the IG competitors. I'm in charge of keeping them sharp. That's kind of my department inside the league, inside of competing. We all have roles inside of. Rachel has a big role of pretty much every fucking thing. Excuse me, I didn't mean to curse. But Ben's our captain, and Ben and Paul are really good at organizing. Rachel pretty much steers the ship, and I have to keep an eye on the Star Wars kids. And Ross has popped right in, and he's taken his chop busting like a man, like you're supposed to. And I like having him around. And it's another person. I tell you, Bad Batch was so amazing this week. I need another Star Wars person to talk to, especially about that. So I'm happy he's around. He popped right in.
Oh yeah, man. Well, hey, let me ask you real quick. Do you have just a few more minutes to stick around?
Only because Nancy and Dean are here.
All right. Would you like me to leave screen and you three can have a powwow for a few minutes?
Jay, it's not about you. Just ask the question.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to know if you wanted to stick around for a few more minutes before Frenchie and I do hard questions.
I got a question.
Jay, you're trying to make me so comfortable that I can be nothing but uncomfortable. Just let the show go. Let it flow. It's like we're in a river. If we're in a river, just let the water flow through you. You can't change the water. Just go. Be you. Do whatever. I said I'm here. You got to trust me.
I've got some chocolate milk and some cookies, dude. You fucking want some? All right. Yeah, Dean said he had another question. Go ahead, Dean.
So we're getting this hashtag Saulshow stuff. Like, is that the new official Schmoedown name for the Saulshow, or is that just a trendy hashtag for the hot minute?
The Saulshow was born out of conversations with reactor types, Suge Knight, Justin Hamilton, Ferris McDonough, Danny Carvalho. Being a Schmoedown competitor is strangely lonely at times because you're spending a lot of time in a room with a notebook and a movie, and then when the movie's over, you start the movie over again. And like if you're by yourself, you have to focus. And I've been very lucky because I don't. The feedback loop for my performing, like I know. Look, as a competitor, I know the score of the match, so I know how I did on that regard. But like, I need a feedback loop, and Suge has been very helpful. Justin Hamilton and Ferris McDonough and Danny have been very helpful with putting together. I'm able to bounce things off of them. And at one point there was a conversation saying it's just like whenever you go on one of these shows, you just take over the show. It becomes Saulshow. Or I said and I did some sort of faux WWE like the Saulshow, and it got a laugh, and it got a laugh, and then it just kept coming. It was like an inside joke amongst the boys and I, and I just started calling myself the Saulshow because it's ridiculous, and it's the right amount of ridiculous. That's the trick of the Schmoedown. You have to find the right amount of ridiculous. Not too much, not too little. You got to find that. Go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because I was you're talking about the Evan Bushcar match earlier. I was really rooting for that Dragon Slayer prophecy to kind of come true, and I was wondering if maybe you considered, a similar kind of thing with the Real Rejects. And to tell you the truth, I've been trying to think of catchy, Real Reject disparaging names all week, and it's not easy. And the best I got was the Real Rejector. That's it.
A Real Rejector.
So the Real Rejector, you can have that in the back pocket. You're welcome.
Okay. I kind of feel like I almost feel like you're insulting me in some way. That's weird, but
you rejected the Real Rejects from the league, kind of, or at least from a point.
I hope not. I hope not. The movie trivia Schmoedown is big enough for the Real Rejects, and I hope they come back I hope they both come back very soon and compete at any level. Your
match with Albert is so good. So good.
Thank you, Dean. I'd be appreciated. But Saulshow kind of what happened. So I used to call myself the Saulshow, and just to get a laugh. And then the chairman heard that, and God damn it, pal, you got a nickname. Because
nobody's laughing anymore.
There was no one was giving me a nickname, and that was it. I was just I love that I didn't have a nickname. I guess I have one now.
Oh.
No, because all right, so you want to talk about obsession and taking this too seriously? Here's how I've overthought this. When Christian introduces a player like Jay, the Problem Wade, like he says everyone's got, Rachel, the Switchblade Silverstreeny, right? But when he introduces me, he has to change the cadence of the introduction.
I noticed that.
Where he has to say, "This is Saul," and I like feeling special, and I really appreciate that feeling. It reminds me. I'm not sure if anyone's a wrestling head around here, but there was a wrestler in the '90s called Taz. He was in a wrestling league called ECW. He was in the WWF too, but he was in an ECW, and he used to have the best introduction where he would walk in and just fold his arms, and they'd say, "This is Taz," and it was cool. And I like that I sort of backed into that. I didn't try to do that, but like I like that that's my introduction. No one in the league has an introduction like that. And then with the Saulshow, it's like he does it twice. Because he goes, "This is the Saulshow, this is," and again, I'm sort of into this. I think about this stuff a lot, and it works for me. I hate nicknames. So I was happy that this sort of happened organically. But thank you, Dean. I appreciate you trying. I'll continue to take suggestions for more nicknames and catchphrases.
Yeah. Anyone throw some comments in there? Put your own ideas. Let's
get more comments in here.
Yeah,
we like to read it.
Saul, thank you very much, man. We're gonna send
Is that
out.
It?
Yeah, we're gonna do hard questions, and then we're gonna wrap up the show. And
I can't. I'm too soft. I'm too fragile. I can't do hard questions.
Bring it on. Bring it on. It's Saul.
Okay.
Saul, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Are you?
It'll be you, Frenchie, and I. So let's remove the others here. And okay.
Are you implying that I can't answer hard questions? Is this a round 3
No,
criticism again?
No.
Well, just to set up, hard questions is less about arguing and more having intellectual thought on and understanding, even if opinions differ, right? So if you're up for it, man, let's have this conversation, Mr. Saul.
Well, and the question kind of honestly stems from your match, so that's why. That's why I was like, well, if you want to be on it, cool.
Well, let's go on to the subject. And we saw your feelings on it, and I definitely want to interject as well. Is there room for competitors who don't take it seriously?
How would I know? No.
You're-
Okay. Yes, there is. My favorite player in the history of the Schmoedown is Josh McCouga. This is again, the Schmoedown's a circus, and it's a big tent, and there's enough room for funny people who are just funny. There's people who are just super trivia killers, who who aren't cutting the greatest promos. Let's be real. There's enough room for the freak show types, the oddities. There's enough room in the Schmoedown. The Schmoedown is a better place with Greg and John Humphrey in it, with Coy John Drew. I don't want them to go. The person I dislike the most in the Schmoedown, I like a lot in real life. Like I would probably, if they walked into the same bar I was in, I would probably hug them. Like there is plenty of room in the Schmoedown for players who want to take. I don't like telling people what to do. I really don't. It's not my thing. People should take this as seriously or not as seriously as they want. I'm going to take it as that's not going to alter how I do this. I'm coming with maximum trivia in your face every time. That's just the way it's going to be, folks. I'm not changing. No one's getting to me. I'm going to take this as seriously as I see fit. And I expect the competitors, I would hope every other competitor in the league would take this just as seriously as they see fit.
Now, I want to add a dimension to it, though, because is it fair for the faction and the other players? Now there's money involved, right? If you want to get the greatest shot, your competition, this is a team sport and individual sport. It's a hybrid, right? So you can be egotistical and like saying, I'm here to have fun and everything's good, which we do need. But is there a place now? Now there's end stakes to it. Right.
Yeah. There's more stakes. That's so. I mean, that's up to the managers. That's if they want to, again, just because someone doesn't take it, Josh McCouga had a pile of wins. Great. It doesn't, just because you're trying. Look, I'm someone who probably should have been a comedy character in the Schmoedown. That was probably the acorn of the idea of when Christian allowed me to come into the league. He was probably thinking, well, this will be funny. And, I entertained that notion for a while, but I overthought it, and I thought, well, wouldn't it be funny if the dog that got the bacon guy, what if he was really good? Wouldn't that be a funnier, instead of getting the cheap laughs up front on a match once, maybe twice a year, wouldn't it be funnier if I just went crazy and just became obsessed and started winning a bunch of matches? To me, that's a better bit. That's one of the reasons why I'm here. So, there is money involved, and there is more at stake, but that's a manager question. I'm not a manager. Wow, am I not a manager? And I think it would be a shame if this league got so cold that managers were being that strict and they weren't letting entertaining players in. It's also a way you also have to develop. There's people who come in who are funny, who are entertaining. You have to develop them as players. John Roca's a highly entertaining player, but no one's calling him just he's funny at times. Craig the Barbarian's funny at times.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. The thing is, there's having fun, being entertaining, being goofball, but then saying on air, I don't take this seriously. It is what it's what he did afterwards that irked me, because I knew from the beginning he never took it seriously, but he was just fun to watch. But now he's like really making it his shtick and talking about it. That kind of feels a bit disrespectful for those who do take it seriously. So it's not the fact that he actually does it, it's the way he acts afterwards, I find. Kind of irks me about it. It's kind of disrespectful, but that's just me.
And I'm sorry, I'm going to interject. I'm sorry, Saul. We're running short on time here. Christian talked for a long time about how this is a sport. So I got it. I'm going to talk about it like it's a sport. If we're talking, sport is about competition. I just don't. No, I'm sorry, man. Name me one other sport where someone doesn't practice and they make it to the big leagues. It doesn't happen.
Allen Iverson.
To me, it cheapens the sport.
Plaxico Burress. Do you know how many times Plaxico Burress practiced in 2007 when the New York Giants won the Super Bowl? Due to his contributions, Plaxico Burress never practiced. He had a bad knee, and he used that excuse. He never practiced.
Okay, so one person.
I just
No,
said
but-
people. A lot of NBA players have been known to blow up.
In my mind, it's not. In my mind, you're taking a spot from the highest level of movie trivia away from someone who obviously wants to do it a lot more based on how much work and practice they put into it.
Jay, this is a results business. If you want that spot, go and take it. There are thousands of people around the country right now watching the Schmoedown, who watched my match, who are in the Facebook group, who are on Patreon, who all they're thinking, whether they realize it or not, I would like to take Saul's job. I would like to knock him out of the league and be Saul. And I would like to take Adam Collins' job. I would like to take Marisol McKee's job. There's nothing but how many? Harloff got like a couple thousand audition tapes this winter. Though every single one of those people want my job. I play accordingly. I know what the stakes are. I know what I'm playing for. And if I don't succeed, I will lose. If you want to keep your spot, it's not just about trying hard. You got to win. You got to become a draw. You have to help the league grow. Protect the shield. You got to show up and perform. It's not about who wants it more. It's about who does it better. This is a results-oriented league, and Greg Alba has beat people.
Yeah,
so it's not like he's 0-10.
I'm between you guys. Like, there's the middle ground to it, right? Because you're right. Every player has like a role, a certain ticket attached to what they're supposed to or what they represent in Schmoedown. So you need those people who do bring a levity. Hell, Quirky Mercs is the poster for that kind of genre of player. But again, it's for me, like, if you know your role, don't break the third.
Okay, I know what you're saying. Yeah, don't break the third wall.
Exactly. Don't go over it and make it a shtick, because you kind of take off the magic of it, and it makes you, especially the way he lost. If it was a lot tighter, okay, but the way he lost as well, and then he ran with it, it doesn't taste well. But there's definitely a spot for those kind of players, and there's spots for you, your type of player, the Terminator, and just go and destroy everyone. As much as like there's a role like for Roka that's going to get replaced when he gets retired. You need those type of anchors. Just don't push it too far.
Yep. And
if you're trying to get me to say, Frenchie, I'll be blunt with you. I didn't like it either. But
okay.
But I don't have to agree with the way everyone plays this game.
Yeah.
Everyone can show up. And again, it's almost like Schmoedown can be like a canvas. You bring to it who you are. Put yourself into the Schmoedown and we'll see it. I'm the type of, that is Fast and the Furious going on at Jay's house? What is that?
No, that's me.
Oh, it's
I'm
you?
sorry.
I bet you Canadian Fast and the Furious is so much more polite. I bet you they're all like excusing themselves and they cut someone off and
Saul, you've got the final word here. Nancy has a heart out.
So listen, I didn't love it either, but Greg's a good guy. Not everyone's got to make me feel special and precious. I was kidding around before. Like, I can disagree with how someone does something or what someone says and still respect and like them. In fact, I prefer being around people with different opinions about deals. There's a spot for Greg. I didn't love the way he conducted himself either. I didn't love it, but guess what? It's not about me. It was about both of us. It was about the match. It's about the league. Protect the shield. And thank you for having me.
Before you go, Dean actually wrote something very interesting. The Fast and Furious Canadian equivalent is the casual and cautious.
There you go. I can see that.
All right. Thank you, my man. Always a pleasure.
Oh, man. Yep. Saulshow, everyone. Thank you very much. Oh, what the fuck are you doing?
But you should. I take him off.
Saul, sit down.
Don't you ever tell me to sit down, smart ass.
I was about to give you a nice outro, dude. What are you doing?
I don't believe you. You've been nothing but a pain. You've been attacking me. You're not signed up for Maximum Trivia.
Now let me do my outro and then you can get out of here. Everyone, Saul, thank you very much for being here. Even though he obviously didn't want to be. Thank you for your time. That means even more to me. Thank you so much.
Remember, people, he sucks. Soul Soccer. Do not watch his show. Bye-bye.
Yeah, stay away.
Yeah. Okay, now you can. Okay, everybody, back up here. Nancy, we'll start with you. Thank you very much for being on the show and joining us today. Hopefully you'll come back again. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Thanks.
Where can people follow you at if they would like to?
Yeah, so you can find me at PL_Bandaid on Twitter and Instagram. And then you can find me over at a Fans View of the FCL where my buddy Vernon and I cover the FCL matches, just kind of go over them, give our thoughts and opinions. And that typically comes out on Fridays.
Awesome. Dean, very quickly, please.
Dean Lewis, 2099, got it there already for you. Get me on Twitter. Get me to that 200 followers. Come on, let's go.
For me?
And Double D, we can't see you, but we hear you.
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter at Dan Dolinsky, and you can find me here every Saturday running the numbers.
Hell yeah. Frenchie, really quick, what do you got going on other than doing shit around here?
Yeah, well, apparently working at 6 o'clock. Yay, fuck my life. But that being said, you can also find me at Schmoes in the North. We're a bunch of Canucks where we, go casual and cautious on the Schmoedown itself. But now, for real, we're a bunch of Canadians and people north enough in the U.S. to be considered almost Canadians. And tonight, we are talking about Mount Schmoedown. I forgot who they're covering. I'm really sorry. I'm high as fucking tired. But go check them out right now, actually. And you can also find us at Schmoedown Night Canada every Friday and Sunday. Fridays, we cover usually the PPVs. And Sundays, we talk about the week's matches. So do not miss out, people. Sub and like.
And you can follow me on the Twitter at jwade1134. That's the letter J, WADE1134, as well as at the Jcast Network. Please be sure to subscribe. We've got our Bachelor show, Go Get That Rose, live on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. And then, our Star Wars show, which has Marie Wilson on it this week, and Paige for Betty is a regular cast member of that show. Friday nights at 6:30 on this channel, this network. Everyone, have a great and wonderful week.
Bonsoir.
You want to hear something funny? The mic wasn't on that whole time.
No way.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
So smooth.